Slides already now, so I'll pass over to you, Becky.
Thank you. So I'm going to kick straight off with this example by Brewdog. So back in a rainy weekend in Feb, they ran this campaign offering free pints, headline being 1 million pints on us. So free pint promotions or giveaways can be quite tricky to set up as a brand. But of course, Brewdog are both the brand and the retailer. So the consumer journey for this was really smooth and a great experience and easy for them to set up. So some colleagues went down to the Waterloo bar to see how it ran exactly, see what the claim criteria were. But it was very smooth. They were pouring pints at the bar and just giving them away. So a brilliant example of a true free promotion. They've obviously chosen not to lead with the word free, which they could have done. But 1 million pints on us sounds generous. It sounds like there's loads of availability. The promotion only ran between 4 and 5 p.m. each day. So this was a great footfall driver at a time when consumers probably wouldn't usually be going for a pint, perhaps. And of course, you're not going to go on your own. You're going to take friends with you, you'll meet people there, and you're probably not going to just stay for your one free pint as well. So it's a footfall driver, an awareness driver, got people talking. I think a brilliant example of giving something away for free. Another brand that did that really well recently is Aldi. So the Clarion agency set this up in a really lovely, creative way. So the Rosé Degrees billboard dispensed free rosé when the temperature hit 19.2 degrees, which they did some brilliant research and found out that that must be the perfect temperature to enjoy rosé wine, which I think is really clever and creates a great talking point and a really nice hook for giving something away. So it gained loads of press coverage, as you can see. But what do we notice about all of these headlines? They all use the word free. So that isn't a word that the brand needed to include it in any of the communication, but it was that hook that got people talking and drove the behaviour change. Unfortunately, it doesn't always go very smoothly. So this pub in Nottinghamshire wanted to give away free pints, again, to drive footfall, as Brewdog did, during a football match between Nottingham Forest and Brighton and Hove. They put this post on their Facebook page offering the free pint to get people in, but unfortunately, Nottingham Forest went on to score 7-0. So it worked out as a really expensive promotion for them. Obviously, as you can see from the photo, consumers are really happy. It got national press coverage, not that that's much use to a small local pub, but yeah, it sort of shows how risky these promotions can be. And then I can't talk about risky, disastrous promotions without mentioning, of course, Hoover. So in 1992, Hoover ran their free flights to America promotion, which is now obviously very famous in a bad way. So consumers only needed to spend £100 or more on Hoover products to be able to claim their 2 free flights, which were worth over £600 at the time. So you've got quite a big difference between the minimum spend and then the cost of the prize. They thought they'd thought this through by making quite a long claim form to be able to claim for the flights. But of course, consumers are more than happy to fill out a long form if the reward is of such great value. So unfortunately, this caused job losses, and there was a documentary made about it. And obviously, not everyone could get their flights fulfilled. So sort of a how not to run a promotion example there. So something that we offer our clients is a fixed fee to protect from this happening. So we can agree an upfront fixed cost for a promotion within sort of these 3 steps. So review the promotion upfront, inspect the data points, understand how exactly it's going to run. What's the value of the reward? What's the consumer required to do? And we'll get an idea of how we think that's going to perform. We can then provide tailored guidance on the promotion and advise on things that you could change in order to get the results that you want, and then cap all those costs for a fixed fee. So that's a one-off upfront cost that's paid before the promotion goes live, and then we take on the risk of the football scores or the weather or the sort of popularity of the promotion. So the brand and your client can sort of sit back and relax, and then we take the risk on for you. And speaking of adjusting the promotion and the claim route, I'm sharing here a scale of sort of low effort through to higher effort mechanics that you can use to give something away for free. So at the sort of easiest end of the scale, you've got your simple ask and get. So similar to the BrewDog example, walk up to the bar and ask. Well, I don't think you even needed to ask for your pint; they were giving them away. But Ben and Jerry's have free cone day every year, which is highly anticipated by their loyal customers. They have queues out the door. To limit this, it's only run for one day, but the claim process is obviously super simple because you just need to be in the right place at the right time. Next along, we've got a conditional ask and get. So I really like this promotion that Coca-Cola did. They gave away soft drinks for designated drivers around Christmas time in pubs. I've seen a similar one recently, actually, since Rory McIlroy's win. There's a pizza chain giving away free pizza to anyone called Rory. So some quite nice, fun, creative things that you can do around that. The next one is a promotion that we protected Cruz Campo with. For those who don't speak Spanish, it's a free pint promotion when Spain score during the World Cup. But we included a sort of a pre-register stage in this. So you arrive in the pub, you see the communication about the free pint offer, but you are required to register to participate before the game starts. So then you wouldn't get into a situation like the Nottingham pub did, where people calling their mates and asking everyone to come down because the pub's giving away free pints. So you sort of participate before the match starts. So it gives you some control. Coupons, again, but these can probably scale up and down the consumer claim effort, depending on how they're distributed, where you can claim. But obviously really popular and a sort of a tried and tested, great way to distribute product. And at the top end of the scale, these are still simple and still perform well, but you've got your money back promotions. So consumer buys the product up front and then they can claim their money back after. I've got two examples of money back examples here because you've got your straight up cash back. So this is a promotion that we ran for Madry's agency. So they were distributing or wanted to give away free pints in Ireland. But we did this via a cashback mechanic. So consumers buy the pint and then claim their money back after. So for that, you only need to upload a proof of purchase. But another way of doing this is via a money back guarantee. And these are a really nice way of highlighting a product benefit. So this one that we helped Kingsfield's agency with was the best ever toast or your money back. So you highlight a benefit, highlight a claim, and then only if consumers disagree with that do they get their money back. So a good way of highlighting something that you want to get across. It gets great standout in store, really great for return on investment actually, because of that standout, because consumers think it's risk-free by buying it, they're going to get the money back if they're not happy. But the number of consumers that go through and actually claim their money back is really low. It's probably the lowest performing redemption rate. So from a fixed fee perspective, the fees are really low for this as well. But it just gives that brand that security that it couldn't end up going over the budget. And then I've included lots of FMCG examples there. So here's some sort of higher spend ways of offering something for free. And these are all based on particular conditions. So this one that we worked on for Currys, obviously you can't give everyone a laptop away for free, but a really nice idea was of the agency was to do a 1 in 20 chance. So people buy the laptop thinking that they might be that 1 in 20 chance of getting their money back. Similarly, another sport example, TomTom gave consumers their money back if England win the final. So from a fixed fee perspective, these ones are really fun for us to cover, because on one hand, we're hoping that England hoping that the results come in of the sort of like national match, but at the same time, it's us that's going to be paying out if that does come through. So it could be quite tense. And then finally, this Dishoom example was one that Rory Sutherland has spoken about before, but I think it's really nice for restaurants. So VIPs in Dishoom get the chance to roll a dice at the end of their meal, and if they roll a 6, then they get their meal for free. So there's quite a few videos on TikTok of this happening with quite big meal orders. So to summarise, best practice of running a free promotion or giving away something for nothing, they are really risky because they're so popular. But of course, with a fixed fee, you can cap the costs, so it's not the brand or your client that has the unwanted surprises. We can work on a claim route to fit the budget. We can work on that with you. And finally, Sam is now going to talk about whether you can use the word free or you might need to be a bit more creative. They were
Thank you, Becky. That was brilliant. A whirlwind of the free world. As a Brighton fan, that 7-0 was hard to listen to. But yeah, I think that's really interesting. Brewdog have made it as a kind of worst case and best case during this session. So it seems like they've learned from their mistakes. I also love the Aldi example, of course, of free Prosecco, which won the IPM Grand Prix. It's a really interesting campaign.